Hey everyone, how are you? On a day when there's so many things that are going on, I don't even know where to start. There are many topics to delve into, but I'll delve into two. Obviously, the most important one, and let's keep in mind that the second Super League is already started because people forget that there is an African Super League already in place. Maybe you can even say a third because the League's Cup can be considered a super league of sorts because it's kind of left the rest of its region aside, of course, for commercial reasons and many other reasons that have also been put in place. But that's a different story for a different topic. So the Super League ends up being allowed. Is it prohibited? No. I mean, there is a right to be able to set up a competing entity, if you will. And when you look at it from a UEFA standpoint, when you look at it from a FIFA standpoint, yeah, they're upset because it ends up kind of tilting the scales away from them. Again, keep in mind, this is in no way, shape, or form me being in favor or against, because as I progress, then it also ends up being yeah, I'll give the other side of the coin in terms of this argument as well. But when you look at what this entire Super League is being set up, it's the upper echelon teams, or two upper echelon teams for now, that are looking to create this breakaway or Super League, as it has already been called, Barcelona and Real Madrid. It's funny because they're talking about the monopolization of football, yet they've been in a league where they've been the ones that have monopolized it for ever, basically, or for a good portion of the last 100 years. So to me, I find that kind of ironic, and I've also always said it maybe sometimes to certain degrees of banter that Real Madrid and Barcelona are one and the same. The rivalry, in their cases and many other cases, ends up developing because their disdain towards one another ends up being a reflection of themselves, which ends up being part of human nature, of the human condition, if you will, in many cases. But that aside, there is a certain level of change that is needed. Now, there's no coincidence that UEFA decides to change its format of the Champions League going into next year. They know that the business is there. They know that they own the business for all intents and purposes. So why not try and maybe, hey, that's a good idea. Let's try and tinker with it. Let's see how that works out. They've done it everywhere. I mean, look, social media has done it. Many social media platforms, hey, even one of the ones that we're on right now has taken ideas from a competitor and made them their own and kind of gift wrapped it a different way, presented a different way, and all of a sudden it is something that they exclusively do. So it's a business at the end of the day. So when you look at it as a fan, yeah, of course, it ends up touching every fiber of your sentiment and your passion and everything else that is meaningful towards you, as it should. But at the same time, you have to look at it and say, well, it is a business, first and foremost. It is run as a business, first and foremost. It is a business of passions. So when you start seeing the two kind of mixing a bit, that's when you start to have these, to a certain extent, dissonance. Because does it hurt me as a fan to say that we're losing the game as a business? Yeah. But then as a professional, you look at it, well, this is a business and it has to deal with. So you kind of invert the whole statement and you end up basically meaning something completely different than the original statement meant. It is exactly that. It is exactly what is going on in terms of the sentiment over the Super League. But is it needed? Maybe. I don't know. We have to see how it operates. We have to see who comes in. Now, when they talk about inclusivity, it's a very loose term. Inclusivity is a very loose term that can end up meaning exclusivity in certain aspects. So we have to see how that also ends up playing out. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the continuation of in this new saga of the Super League. There's other things that, of course, need to be talked about, and we'll do so in this channel. So make sure you do what you usually are asked to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Show some love, man. Until next time.